Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Praneeth. I'll be teaching chemistry today. I'm excited to connect with you through the Knowledge Temple platform, a platform purely dedicated to the quality education and mentorship for the student across India. Here you will get structured learning, live lectures, mock tests, and performance-based rewards. Today we'll be learning about the Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. Okay, so Heisenberg was a well-known scientist. Okay, he said that as it is impossible to determine the simultaneously the exact position of an exact momentum of an electron. Okay, he said that the uncertainty can be denoted as delta x, which is the uncertainty in the position, which is it can be we said expressed as delta x into delta v, that is velocity of x, is equal to as Planck's constant upon 4 pi by m. Okay, so what is the significance of the uncertainty principle? Okay, it rules out the existence of the different path and trajectories of an electron. Also, it's significant only for the motion of the microscopic objects and is negligible for that of microscopic objects. So the question is, uncertainty in a position of an hypothetical subatomic particle is 1 angstrom, and uncertainty in the velocity is 3.3 by 4 pi given as volume. So calculate the approximate mass. Okay, so we know the formula delta x into m into delta v is less than or equal to h by 4 pi. Okay, so substituting the value, you have to calculate the mass of the particle. Okay, so mass will come as approximately 2.007. Okay, so let's take a pause and solve this question. Here they have asked an electron is confined to a region with width 5. Which is the uncertainty in the position? Estimate the minimum uncertainty in the momentum. Momentum is equals to h by 4 pi. Okay, so here they have given all the value. We have to write the p. So p is equals to h by 4 lambda. So as the value is 6 and 4 and pi is equals to, they have given pi 5. So they will come across 1 into 10 raised to 1.5 into 10 raised to minus 24. So the summary of it will be the dual nature behavior, de Broglie's wavelength, that is h lambda is equals to h by p, p is equals to mv. Heisenberg uncertainty they have given as x is equal to p. This is an important formula. This is also an important formula. Okay. So now the way comes toward the end of the end part of the chapter, that is the quantum mechanical model of the atom. Okay. So what we have to learn is quantum mechanics, quantum numbers, the shape of the orbitals, effective nuclear charge and electronic configuration. Okay. So we know that Schrodinger is a famous scientist and his equation is h epsilon naught is equals to E into epsilon naught. Okay. So epsilon naught square is equals to probability of finding an electron density. Okay. So here the boundary surface diagram they have given. It is here it is appreciated that the darker region of the greater probability of the electron. Okay, so here according to this shape we have certain orbitals, that is 1s, 2s, 2p, 3s, 3p, 4s. Okay, this can be orbital drawn in the form of the shape, it is circular than the epsilon. Okay, so why do we have to not draw the boundary surface diagram which bounds a region in which probability of the finding the electron is 100%. Okay, so at any distance from the nucleus the probability of the density of finding a nucleus is never zero. Orbital is the region in the space where there is a probability of finding electron is maximum, and node is a region in which there is a probability of finding an electron is zero. Okay, for example, the quantum numbers are determine the size, shape and orientation of the orbital. For example, quantum number has a principal quantum number, azimuthal quantum number, magnetic quantum number and spin quantum number. Okay, the principal quantum number is denoted as n. It is the shell number, that is n1, n2, n3, etc. Electron having the same value of n belong to the same shell. This is the criteria of it. For example, n is equals to 1 means it belongs to the first shell. N is equals to 2 means it belongs to the second shell. Okay, so it is also denoted as K, L, M, N, O. Okay, now azimuthal quantum number is denoted as I. It is the orbital angular momentum. This thing should be noted, orbital angular momentum. It is a subshell that is along with, it is a further more level down than the shell shape of the orbiter, and the number of the subshell is given is equals to n. For example, n is equals to 2, then the number of the subshell is equals to n. For example, n subshell is 1s, so s is equal to subshell. So value of 1 is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and subshell will be spd. There it was klmno, here it is spdf. Okay, so now subshell is n equals to same shell. Within the same shell, s is equal to spherical, p is equals to collection of dumbbell shape, and d is the collection of double dumbbell shape. Okay, magnetic quantum number, so orientation of the orbital with respect of the standard coordinate axis. Okay, so here we have three axes, that is x, y, and this is the z axis. Okay, so for any subshell, 2l plus I gives you value of possible. Okay, for example, value of m1 equals to minus l2, so it goes from the negative value to positive value and can also be 0. Okay, so the spin quantum number is described as the angular momentum of an electron, the vector quantity having both magnitude and direction, represented by an arrow. That is, upward means spinning up, downward means spinning down. Okay, so as the name says, spin quantum number, it is purely dependent on the spin of the atom. So spin electron is equals to plus half and minus half. It can only have two values, plus half and minus half. It cannot be 0, 1, 2, 3. No, it will either be plus or it will be minus. Okay, let's solve this question. It says that how many subshells are associated with n is equals to 4. So n is equals to 4. That means L is equals to 0, 1, 2, and 3. This is 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Therefore, subshell will be S, P, D, and F. Okay. For example, if they have asked n is equals to 3, so there will be L is equals to 0, 1, and 2, 3. So therefore, it will be S, P, and D. Okay. So I hope the concept is clear up till now. Now let's learn about the effective nuclear charge. Effective is basically the n number, total, cumulative. Okay, it is the orbital having the same energy are also called as degenerate orbitals. For a multi-electron system, higher the value, higher the energy. Okay, for a single electron system, higher the value of n, higher the energy. Okay, so effective nuclear charge is the shielding of the outer electron from the nucleus for an electron. The net positive charge experienced by an outer electron is known as the effective nuclear charge. Okay, so it is the attraction by nucleus and repulsion by the electron in the inner shell. Okay, so the factors affecting are the distance from the nucleus. If the n will be increased, if the nucleus distance is increased, then the screen will increase and the atomic number effective will be increased. Okay, azimuthal quantum number is inversely proportional, and the atomic number and the energy is inversely proportional. Okay, lastly, the shape of the atomic orbital. Okay, so the shape of the boundaries of the surface of the diagram is basically S comes as the spherical shape. Okay, so now this will be as 3p. The p will be equal to a double spherical. Okay, now the boundaries of the 3d will be like in this manner. Okay, so the variation of the probability of the density as a function of the distance of the electron from the nucleus will be 1s and 2s. Okay, so these are the Aufbau principles that should be learned by heart. I just want you to screenshot the screen. So as we know, we have ended this chapter. This is a particular sequence by which electron filling should be done. First it will come as 1s, then will come as 2p, then will come as 2p, then 3s, 2s and 2p, then 3s, 3p, 4s, 3d, 4p, 5s. Okay, these are having same energy, these are having same energy, these are having same energy. Okay, so this is the Paulus exclusion principle. This is basically the number of atoms in an atom that can have same number of 4 atomic number. Okay, in Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity is the pairing of the electrons in the orbitals belonging to the same subshells. Okay, it does not take place until each orbital is filled. For example, 1s will be 1, 2s will be 1 and 2, 2p will be filling will be done from 1, 2 and 3, then it will come from 1, 1 and 1. There won't be filling like this 1, 1, then 1, 1. No, first 1 in each, then we'll add double. Okay, so that's it for this chapter. We are almost done with this chapter. Every concept and every topic has been covered. I hope that the concept is clear. I'll be also sharing the notes of it, the important tricks of it, important mnemonics to learn and by heart this, and some important points which should be learned and which should be noted down in your notebooks. Okay. I hope you like this chapter and you like this lecture. Thank you for watching this and being the patient audience for me. You can join us on the Knowledge Temple for the complete learning live classes and mentorship. Together, let's make the learning engaging and rewarding.